Hello everybody, this is Jimmy again and welcome back to Jimmy's English storytelling session. Today we're talking about chapter 9 already of the Romance of the Three Kingdoms. In the last chapter, we talked about that DongZhuo found Lu Bu in the lotus pool with Diao Chen together, holding hands, and he chased Lu Bu. Lu Bu ran out and DongZhuo ran after him and somebody knocked him over. So this guy is Li Ru. I thought I mentioned him before that Li Ru is a pretty clever guy, but he follows DongZhuo anyway. And he said, Mister, why are you chasing Lu Bu?
Advice.
Okay, go on. Li Ru is an advisor. Yes, of course. Li Ru is always an advisor. There are thousands of advisors everywhere. I don't get it. Why are some really intelligent advisors don't go to Cao Cao and Liu Bei? Instead, they go to DongZhuo. And the result is death. Don't they know that? Okay. Anyway, Li Ru said, I just heard that from Lu Bu that you were chasing him, and he said, DongZhuo wants to kill me. What's going on? DongZhuo said, ugh, I hate that man. He plays with Diao Chen. I will kill him, and I swear it. Liu said, Mr. DongZhuo, you are at a little fault here. Look, Diao Chen is just a little woman. And Lu Bu is one of your sons and one of the greatest generals of yours. You cannot let a woman between you and Lu Bu. Maybe you can just give it to Lu Bu, give Diao Chen to Lu Bu, and then Lu Bu will be totally pleased that he will work for you no matter what. DongZhuo thought for a little while. He was trying to decide. This is the hardest decision to him. He thought over it and then he said, it makes sense a lot to me. Well, I will think about it. Liu thanked DongZhuo for that and left. DongZhuo went back into the lotus pool and asked Diao Chen, why are you holding hands and talking to him? Diao Chen cried. Well, this was all fake because Diao Chen is an actress. Diao Chen cried, I was just here looking at the lotus, and suddenly Lu Bu came. I ran, but he said, I am the son of DongZhuo. You have no need to avoid me. I can tell that he isn't a very good man and I ran. But he followed me with that very sharp sword. I was going to jump into the lotus lake, but he caught me. But when I am about to die, you came. DongZhuo said, I want to give you to Lu Bu as a gift. Is that okay? Diao Chen pretended to be surprised. No! I cannot serve that dog. I want to die in here. And then she picked up another very, very sharp sword from the wall and wanted to kill herself. Yeah! But DongZhuo suddenly catched the sword and threw it away. Then he hugged Diao Chen and said, oh, come on, I was just joking. Diao Chen said, no, you are not. Lu Bu said, oh, come on. You're a pretty girl and I'm a man. Do the math. Can I possibly give you to Lu Bu? Diao Chen said, this must be the terrible suggestion of Li Ru. He has a very large friendship with Lu Bu. So she doesn't care about me and you. And she wants to give me to Lu Bu. I would like to eat his raw meat. DongZhuo said, oh, don't you worry. Tomorrow we'll go to that enjoying city and we'll have fun together. Well, you know that enjoying city means it's the city DongZhuo made with a lot of beauties inside and a lot of silver and gold and silver. Well, I know that I have mentioned because I used about 5 whole minutes to describe how the city is big. So you must know. I know you know. Don't pretend like you're silly. Okay, going on. So the next day, DongZhuo went to the enjoying city. Well, that was the name I call it, with Diao Chan, right on the coach. Well, I was making mistakes recently. I say car, but I don't mean real car that uses gas, like modern cars. I mean coach, carriages, those vehicles that are pulled by horses, okay? So they went on that vehicle. We call it a coach. Coach can be either somebody who teaches sports or a vehicle that's pulled by a horse. Why is English just so confusing and complicated? Doesn't matter, because Zibu stood there and sighed. Delta in the car saw him and pretended like she was crying. Libu stood there. Wang Yun suddenly came and said, General, why are you signing here? Recently I have a little illness, but you know, Mr. DongZhuo is going and, well, even though I'm sick, I have to go out. So, why on earth are you signing here? I thought you would be happy. Libu said, don't talk about it. It's just because of your daughter. Wang Yun is also a good actor. He pretended surprised and shocked and said, all these days hasn't been married to you yet? Libu said, DongZhuo has been playing with her for long. And he told all those things to Wang Yun about like how he played with Diao Chen and how he chased him and how he threw a sword at him. Wang Yun just fell to the ground and didn't say anything for a long time. Well, that was all faked. Then Wang Yun said, couldn't believe that DongZhuo actually does this kind of thing that's done by an animal. Look, DongZhuo, he did bad things to my daughter, and he gets the general's wife. This is definitely to be laughed at. Well, I wasn't talking about DongZhuo to be laughed at. I was talking about you and me. Me, well, I am already old. I'm not talked about. But General, you are here all over the world and you are still in that kind of shame? That's ridiculous. And Libu got really mad and red in the face. He knocked very hard on the table and yelled, "No! This cannot happen!" Wang Yun, didn't know what to say. And he said, I may have a little mistake in my sentences. General, you don't have to care about it. Libu said, nobody gets my wife. I'm gonna kill him. Wang Yun quickly shut his mouth. Well, this is also fake. He said, no. If anybody hears it, we will both die. Libu said, are you just gonna bear it? I am gonna kill him. Wang Yun said, well, if it really succeeds, then I suppose, well, there would be a very big effort to the dynasty Han. Should I keep moving? Okay? Keep moving, just like the plan, okay? I don't know why should I keep moving right. I just feels like it. Maybe this is getting warm and this is getting cold. And I love cool places. Okay. So, of course, Liu agreed. And Wang Yun and Liu together talked to Li Su. Well, I thought I mentioned in the first place that Li Su was the guy who persuaded Liu to kill Ding Yuan and work for DongZhuo. Li Su said, of course, I have always had this desire in my mind just to kill DongZhuo, but I haven't met heroes. Well then, since DongZhuo, somebody wants to kill him. So, of course, I will help you. Do my best. What's going on? What's going on? Oops. Is that something I imagined in my head? I have just imagined that DongZhuo was dead. You know, I could definitely feel that picture right in my eyes. DongZhuo lying on the ground with a sword in his neck. I don't know. Sometimes I just get these pictures without even knowing why. So, but that was gonna happen. It's a surprise ending. Well, actually, it's not a surprise because everybody knows that. Anyway, it's the ending. So, DongZhuo was already in that enjoying city with Diao Chan when Li Su came there and said, "Oh, Mr. DongZhuo, I have a very, very terrific news to tell you, to inform you that the Emperor, he plans to give you this Emperor name and the Emperor power and everything. So now you can come back and you will be the Emperor of the whole dynasty." DongZhuo was very glad by this. And he and Diao Chan, together, they went back. Well, actually, Diao Chan refused to go because she already knew what was going on. Oh, of course, I think Mommy is going to kill him. So Diao Chan said, "I'll just stay here." Of course, DongZhuo didn't stop her. He doesn't know what the heck he was going to be going. So they got on the coach with Li Su, and suddenly the wheel of the coach broke. So they went down and got on another coach, and halfway the horse suddenly started moaning and whining. Whoa! Whoa! And the rope that's tied to the horse's neck also broke. DongZhuo asked Li Su, "What's going on?" "The tire breaks, and also the rope of the horse breaks. What's the symbol of this?" Li Su said, "Well, this is the meaning of a chain that you are going to ride a very, very precious coach. Okay? So this is a very good symbol. It's not really bad. It just looks bad." DongZhuo, that was very reasonable. I think so. And he believed it. Wow, that man sure is stupid when he becomes the emperor. Okay, and then suddenly all the frogs started coming up all over the place. Frog everywhere. And suddenly all the very strong winds, tornadoes, whatever blew. DongZhuo said, "Frog everywhere and all these strong winds? What's the meaning of this again? How can you say it's good?" Li Su said, "Oh, come on. When somebody becomes the emperor, there has to be, what does it say? The cloud that means the emperor and the wind to tell everybody how the new emperor will be strong." DongZhuo still believe this. Wow, that man sure becomes even more stupid when he becomes the emperor. And then they went and be ready for the big emperor ceremony. But they heard a lot of very sad songs sang by a lot of children. "Oh, in 10 days they will die. In 10 days they will die." DongZhuo said, "What's the symbol of this song? I'm gonna die in 10 days?" Li Su said, "No, it's talking about the dynasty Han and the Han Emperor. And it means that you are going to be very well." So DongZhuo didn't doubt this anymore. Man, that man sure gets the most stupidest thing when he becomes the emperor. Okay, so the next day was the big ceremony. DongZhuo got in the coach, Li Su pulled it, and they went in and saw Wang Yun and everybody was holding knives. Just like ready to kill somebody. DongZhuo on the car was shocked. said, "What's the meaning of all these people? Sword." Li Shu didn't answer. He just pulled the coach right in. And then Wang Yun shouted, "Here's the bad man! The evildoer! Where are those soldiers?" And all the soldiers with all those swords and knives and other sharp weapons came out from behind the curtain. And together, pss, 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 they attacked everywhere of DongZhuo. But DongZhuo had very hard protections made out of irons inside his, well, I can't say inside his body, but he's wearing them. So he isn't dead. But his arms were sure to be injured, because it's hard to say that you get attacked so many times and don't get injured at all. He fell down and he shouted, "Where is my son Lu Bu?" Suddenly, Lu Bu came out and said, "I've got the order to kill you!" Psst. And DongZhuo, and he was dead. Everybody cheered. Well, that was all for DongZhuo's death. They put DongZhuo's dead body, the corpse, right on the ground, and all the citizens who came, nobody didn't do this. They picked up DongZhuo's brain and threw it, and then they stepped on DongZhuo's dead body. You can tell how much people hated him. And that night, the soldier who took care of the dead body, he made a fire and lit on DongZhuo's tummy. Can you believe that? And it lit up like a light. DongZhuo was so fat, the oils, they were all over the place. Can you imagine that? They used somebody's tummy to light up the light, and it did. There are oil in there. I can't imagine why he is so fat. He must have ate a lot of junk food. Okay, going on. So, okay, should I, before that, move to right again? Why am I always sitting to the left? Ridiculous. It's one of the mysteries of science. Okay, so, but somebody was crying there. Only himself was crying at DongZhuo's dead body. This was Cai Yong. But Cai Yong is a very talented man. He claimed that he didn't cry because of DongZhuo's death, but he cried just because somebody died. But himself, he also knew that he blew it. A lot of guys actually don't want to kill him. They know that Cai Yong is very, very talented, very, very sensible, very, very prudent, very, very intelligent. You can use just about all the good words on him. Well, except not crying when somebody bad died. And that's the only good word you can't use on him. Too bad, because now somebody bad actually died and he did cry. Wang Yun said, "Now DongZhuo has just died, and the very, very young emperor, yet he doesn't know anything. We can't let these people who cry at DongZhuo's death to get around the emperor." So he actually killed him. He actually killed Cai Yong. A lot of guys cried that day. So Li Jue and Guo Si and Fan Chou, and well, those are 4 guys that, oh yes, and Zhang Ji, of course. I forgot Zhang Ji. I don't know why. Probably because Zhang Ji is never mentioned too much. I thought I mentioned Li Jue before. He was the guy who asked to marry DongZhuo's daughter to Sun Jian's son, but was refused and blamed by Sun Jian. So these 4, I was supposed to call them generals, but then I realized that if I call them generals, that makes them good, and they are not good. So I decided to call them just people. They asked to not talk about their what to say, crime that they've done. But Wang Ying said, these are the 4 guys who helped DongZhuo to do bad things. I don't talk about anyone's crime except for these 4 men. When Li Jue and the guys heard about this, they got all their army together and went to Chang'an and attacked the city. Can you believe that? Li Bu got a lot of soldiers on that, but somehow Li Jue and Guo Si managed to do a lot of tricks on Li Bu to let Li Bu far away from the city, and then they attacked the city. Li Bu didn't get a chance to come back to the city before the city is already broke. Li Jue and the guys, they came into the city and set fire everywhere. You can imagine, set fire here, set fire here. Imagine my head is just like a city, like all over the place, full of fire. Li Bu asked Wang Ying to come out, but Wang Ying said, I was hoping to let the emperor and all these other ministers be clean. And if I don't do that, I'm not somebody who just steals my life. You may go, I will die here with the dynasty gun. Li Bu advised him many times to leave with him, but Wang wouldn't go. So Li Bu ran away with like 100 people himself. This was really sad. And then, well, Wang Ying didn't die anyway. He went to the emperor. And Li Jue and Guo Si, they together went to the emperor downstairs. Emperor on the upstairs said, what are you guys doing here attacking the city of mine? Li Jue said, well, Mr. DongZhuo is your very good minister and he is killed for no reason. As long as we see Wang Ying, we will go. Wang Ying upstairs also told the emperor, things has already developed like this. The emperor, you cannot just sacrifice yourself just because of me. I'm just a little minister. The emperor wouldn't let him go. So Wang Ying jumped downstairs. Guo Si and Li Jue, they got their knives in their hands and blamed, what do DongZhuo have to be dead? Wang Ying said, the crimes that DongZhuo have made is not even talkable. It's not even countable. The death of the DongZhuo was cheered by everybody. You don't know that? Guo Si and Li Jue said, well, DongZhuo has crime. What do we have? Why wouldn't you just don't talk about our crimes? Wang Ying shouted angrily, you bad guys, what are you talking about? Why can't they just have death? Li Jue and Guo Si killed Wang Ying downstairs. This was sad. Very sad. Everybody cried. Soldiers and even the emperor himself. Li Jue and Guo Si, they said, things has already developed in this place. What are we doing here? Not killing the emperor and taking over the place? They were about to attack in. What happened to the emperor? Did the emperor die or not? Is Li Jue and Guo Si becoming the emperor? If no, who suggested them not to do it? What happened afterwards? Where did Li Bu go? All those questions should be answered in my next chapter. Nana boo boo on you. Bye bye everybody. I gotta go to sleep.